Yeah.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Joys of the Junk Era, the show about baseball cards of a certain age and the collectors who love them. I am one of those collectors, and there are many of you out there who, like me, collected baseball cards in the late 1980s and early 1990s, and then you fell into a deep, dark coma and awoke 20 or 25 years later to discover that we live in a brave new world of baseball card collecting. Cards are no longer simply pieces of cardboard with photographs of baseball players on them and maybe a little graphic here and there around the border. They are no longer the small rectangles that we knew from our youth. They are now refractors and parallels and holograms and autographs and glitter bombs and all sorts of other strange concoctions. I could talk about any number of the developments in baseball cards that I've sort of awoken to discover of late. Not to suggest that I really fully understand any of them, but today we're going to talk about a trend that, in my view, is the most odd, the most strange, the most maybe even troubling, and that is the phenomenon of
The Relic.
Okay, so the relic. I can't really wrap my head around this. I get the idea of sports memorabilia and jerseys, things of that variety, but the relic is a strange concept, I think, to begin with. The term relic comes with all sorts of creepy baggage. Usually a relic, outside of the baseball card collecting context, is part of a deceased holy person's, like a saint or something like that, body that people keep around in churches and whatnot to venerate or revere. You may have heard of the Shroud of Turin or the tooth of the Buddha or the head of Saint Catherine. Now those have been the term relic, I guess, has been co-opted by the baseball card collecting, or generally, I suppose, the sports collecting community, to now you have like the jersey of Derek Jeter or the glove of Griffey, whatever, the bat of Bryant. You could, you're basically, I guess I'm sort of at a loss as to what the purpose is. The process, I guess, is somewhat odd. So I have this Adam Wainwright Topps 2017 Topps Triple Threads Baseball Relic Unity Jumbo Relic card. It is an Adam Wainwright card, numbered 18 of 18, 18 out of 18. And, I mean, I get the idea. It's rare and it's sort of interesting looking. You have this fine print on the back that says, "The relic contained in this card is not from any specific game, event, or season." So I guess let's talk about the process for a second. Instead of selling in some form a game-worn jersey that Adam Wainwright actually wore in a game. We are getting a smithereen of his jersey. And I get the idea that more people can have it, but what you're having is not the thing itself. It's just this little piece, and it's not even clear what part of the jersey or anything of the sort. It has some tenuous connection to Adam Wainwright, but we don't exactly know what. I know there are some patches and Velcro from gloves and things like that. And so I know it can vary, but the upshot, I guess, here of what we're actually getting is here is a ruined piece of jersey that we have stuck at the center of the baseball card, and then the baseball card itself becomes more or less a reliquary or the vehicle or sort of holster, I guess, for the piece of fabric. So it has to be a lot thicker, and you don't get any, information about the player or anything like that. The rest of the card is filled up with these sort of interesting background patterns. It's all very confusing to a guy like me. I would be. This would all be forgivable in my mind if these actually looked good. But I just don't think they do really all that much. So here's one example, and I think the Wainwright is sort of the best example that I have. I only have a few of these. I have this, which is just totally random. I actually pulled this yesterday from a Fairfield pack, which is why I had the idea to do this video. This is a first-year Bowman, Merkin Valdez. He's wearing a jersey, and I'm trying to figure out what year this is, 2004 Bowman. And he's wearing a jersey, it says in the very fine print here. It's very hard to see because it's in foil. It says 2004 Futures game worn jersey. So that does at least represent that it's from. The image appears that he is wearing the jersey that is reflected, or that is actually, a piece of which is actually contained in this little patch here. But there's something, I don't know, sort of creepy about this process. I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to be enjoying about it. I guess if I'm supposed to feel some kind of connection to the game, I don't, or to this player, I really don't, because it's not like a framed jersey that's on my wall. It's just a piece of fabric that Bowman is representing, is tied to this player, but I don't have the provenance to really back it up. I'm just sort of taking their word. And then to sort of top off the creepiness, I'm not sure if I can get it to zoom in. Let's see, I was tapping the card instead of the camera, sorry. Oh, it's really hard to see, but basically at the bottom it says facsimile signature is as appears on the original rookie Topps contract, which is just like brings another level of like sort of corporate weirdness to this thing. I don't imagine that Merkin Valdez took off his jersey on the way back to the dugout and tossed it to a revering Bowman executive. I imagine that there is some depressingly perfunctory corporate process that these jerseys are churned through to end up on the card. And all of that just sort of has this seedy feel to it. But in honor of sort of keeping an open mind, I guess this is all a rather hyperbolic expression of my views on this topic, and this is just sort of a first impression. In general, I guess, as you can probably tell, I do not like these relics, but I am open. I can be convinced. I am quite willing to change my mind. I'm happy to hear anybody else's thoughts. It seems like everyone is mad for these things, so I don't want to foreclose the possibility of becoming mad myself. To that end, I bought my local card shop, which is a really awesome card shop called Hot Corner. on Nostrand Avenue in Brooklyn. It is the last card shop in Brooklyn, I believe. Sells these grab bag packs of cards. This was $10, and what I get is a relic. And on the back here is a Gio Gonzalez autograph. I will go back to the relic in a second. This is a draft Gio Gonzalez White Sox auto. I don't have the same frightening, horrified reaction to the autos as I do as to the relics, but I'll put that out there. And then just going back to, actually before we go to the relics, I'll just show you there's a bunch of cards in the middle. I assume these are sort of base cards. This is a Bowman Chrome AJ Puck, a Chris Chambliss Upper Deck, a Nicky Delmonico rookie. Sorry, the shine on this is crazy. Luis Gonzalez. All right, so here's a Ricky Henderson. This is a cool card. MLB Draft History, Ricky Henderson, 1976, number 96. This is a really cool card, actually. It's got some historical information about Ricky Henderson, 96th overall by the Oakland A's. I didn't know that these sorts of inserts existed for Bowman, and I really, really like this card. It's super cool. I guess the general rule for me is I like cards that can give me some information. Josh Donaldson, Parker Bridwell, rookie. Here's a vintage Brian Raycar, I don't know how you say that, frankly. Upper Deck Vintage. This is a cool card. Francisco Mejia, some kind of refractory Bowman Scouts Report card. Max Fried, Nomar Mazara refractor. Max Kepler, Alan Ginter. Yadier Alvarez, shiny. Oh, cool. Oh, right. He had mentioned, actually, so there were some older cards mixed in the pack. Bob Miller, Dodgers card. What year is this? I'm not familiar. I don't know. Some old Topps card. Looks like a 65, maybe, if that's... I don't know. Somebody will know better than I know. I'll look it up later. But this is a vintage card, which I think is really, really cool and nice looking. Ernie Clement, Wander Javier, Hank Bauer, and another old-ish card, Sonny Siebert of the Cardinals. I do like that too. 1975 Topps. This is in really good. These are in really good condition, actually, too. So that's a Cardinals card, so it can go up by Vince. Okay, so let's just go back to this. Let me see if I can get it out. It's so... All right, so here's our... it's a Ricky Henderson from the Padres, authentic game-worn jersey, 2001 3000th hit, Timeless Treasures 2004. It is numbered to 100, 25 out of 100. All right, so this actually has some information about the card, certificate of authenticity. The enclosed piece of jersey was cut from an authentic jersey personally worn by Ricky Henderson in an official Major League Baseball game. The authentic game-worn jersey was obtained and is guaranteed by Donruss LP. All right, so I guess refer back to my feelings from the beginning of this. This is this is not a jersey I take it he wore when he got his 3000th hit in 2001. It's a jersey he wore in a game, which I guess could be, in my mind, would be cooler if I had the jersey. I can't get the jersey for a few dollars certainly, but this fraction of the jersey sort of doesn't do anything for me. And then all I get is this tiny photo of Ricky Henderson and a lot of ornate design around it. So you can, if I had, I guess another way to say it is if I had my choice of Ricky Henderson in an A's uniform in this sleek looking Bowman Chrome where he's wearing this awesome retro A's jersey with all of this information about his draft, or this, to be fair, much thicker and rarer relic, I would take the Chrome card. I'm hoping to hear your thoughts about this because I know most of you out there are quite excited about the relics, and again, I'm open to changing my mind, but I thought I would do this little presentation because I know that I probably have the minority view on this subject. So I hope the video was thought-provoking. I'm interested to hear others' perspectives on this, and thanks for watching.